Being that Christmas is a couple days away, I guess this is Boats and Hoes.
Drinking sangria.
Oh, and that sounded corny. Check it out, guys. I have a TFL 1400 millimeter boat. This came out a while back, but it is new to me. I just got it. Well, I got it about a month ago, but I wanted to get a boat bag for it because it's big and it's a pain in the butt to transport. So it's been sitting inside the box in my way. It's too cold to run it anyway, so I wasn't in a hurry. I'm gonna take it out the box, get it inside the boat bag, see what I need to do. I bought the bag and I was hoping it came already padded to the shape of the boat. It doesn't, so I have to take foam and fill it in. Or I have some big pieces of foam that I got with some other packages the other day. So I'm gonna try to make a supportive foam, I don't know, supportive foam bag, I guess, to hold this thing safe, because it's a big one. Let's get this. Good thing it does come with a boat stand. So we're gonna get it out this box, get it on the boat stand, and then we can figure out the bag situation. But there it is. It's a big ass boat. Okay, I'm gonna build this boat stand real quick just so I can have somewhere to put the boat on top of. Then we could worry about the rest. These boat stands, they assemble real easy. They just are slotted and they slide right into each other. Okay, so there's the boat stand. It does have felt right across the top here where the boat's gonna sit. Now I have to figure out the best way to get the boat out. Wow, it's like a surfboard pretty much. It's a pretty big boat. And it's actually heavier than I thought. There's the front view of this thing. I don't know if I could do that with the back, but there's the back. Underneath it's just all white. There's the top. I bought this boat from Fair RC, and it was literally the best price I could find on this TFL Genesis 1400 millimeter boat. It did take a while to get here. I don't think they stock them. I think they order them from TFL and you have to wait for that whole process to go through. So it is kind of a slow process. I waited a couple months to get it. I ordered it over the summer. I knew I wasn't going to get it. I knew I was going to get it later in the season. But I was okay with that. I'm not in a hurry. I actually have a ton of boats. You guys haven't seen them all. But I recently did a video on my Miss Budweiser I just picked up. That one is definitely a lot wider than this, but it's nowhere near as long. I could bring it over later and put it side by side. Shorter, but it is wider. Okay, this is just telling you to install your accessories. If you don't put props on this thing, the thing is just gonna sit still in the water pretty much. And just paperwork for your ESCs. That's all you get. You get no controller. You don't get a controller, receiver. But I think everything else, I think aside from not having a receiver, I think it's ready to go. TFL boats always come with boat tape. I don't think, we're gonna find out in a minute, but I don't think this has latches. I think you just tape down your canopy, and so I think that's it. You don't have any latches. I actually like Pro boats that you get from Horizon. They come with the twist latches. I actually like that. Here's the rudder. You have to install it yourself. Steering mechanism is already on there, but I guess they put this in the bag so it doesn't either break through the box or get damaged in transport. You get your dual props and they are labeled, so don't go taking them out the baggies until you're ready to install them. But they are labeled because there is a right and a left. Some tools, a little wrench and some Allen keys, an antenna tube, bullets for your props, a pair of bullets, and not sure what this is. It looks like a pass-through for either your cable or whatnot, but your exit ports for your water are already on the boat. Oh, this is probably for your antenna tube. More than likely, this is probably for the antenna tube. And just these zip ties. Bunch of zip ties. We'll get a close-up of everything in a minute. Well, I guess a minute's now. It's good time now. So let me bring the camera over and let's get close, up and close personal. Let's pop open this canopy and see what's under the hood. Or under the canopy. So here's your rudder. Your rudder does not have any water pickups. Just a solid aluminum piece. It's just a solid aluminum piece. No water pickups on the rudder. Your water pickups are actually here. Let me get it in focus. Your water pickups are right here. I guess these are called the sponsons, and these are This right here, this section here, I believe is called the sponson. And these are your water pickups. You have 2 there and 2 on the other side. And here's where your props are gonna go, right there. And both of these are actually height adjustable. So you can tune them, you can adjust the height on them. Just in case the boat's porpoising too much or whatever, you can adjust that. You can adjust the angle of the dangle. I needed to check. I didn't know where the water pickups were, but you saw the water pickups. Here's your 2 props. They are aluminum, right and left. The boat was marked right and left in the back. Ties, nothing to see there. Antenna tube, tools, little cheap wrench, and Allen keys. Like I said, I think this is for your antenna tube. Now, I don't see a hole on here yet. It's probably somewhere, or I might have to drill it. And your tape. Let's get into the hatch here. Oh, I can't get in the boat. Ooh, wow, they don't make that easy. There's nowhere to grab on this hatch or canopy, whatever you want to call it. There is nowhere to grab. So that was a little hard to get inside of it. I just put a little piece of tape on it, pulled up, but wish there was some kind of a handle. There are dual 300 amp ESCs. This is a 12S boat. Now these ESCs are 300 amp ESCs, and they say they can run 3S to 16S. Wow, that's a lot of battery. And aside from that, the size of the battery trays, they're kind of on the small side. So I really don't know what batteries that are 16S that would fit in here. To run more batteries in this, I'd have to add more battery trays to this. But a 6S battery is like 22 volts, so that's like 44 volts per side. So that would be a total of 88 volts in this thing. That's a lot. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try that much. Also, I'm not sure if these ESCs have reverse. That's another thing I have to find out. This is an awfully long boat. Where I would normally run in the canal, there's docks on both sides where I take off from, and boats sometimes don't steer the best. So I might need reverse. I might have to do a K-turn. But as you can see, this boat is it's a fiberglass boat, but it is Kevlar lined. So this yellow and black pattern is Kevlar, which is actually pretty cool. And I did mention the stingers at the bottom are adjustable on this. So it's definitely a really nice boat. Everything looks sealed pretty well. My God, these motors are fat. Here, we're gonna have to move the camera to bring you in closer. Okay, there's the motors. It's hard to tell the size because they have water jackets on them. There's the other one. Twins. There's those tiny battery trays. They're not big at all. This is nice too. The stuffing tubes have a port there that you can, I believe it's to grease them, which that's nice too. Usually I don't see that. Looks like it just runs a standard size servo. I have to double check that, but that just looks like it'll fit a standard size servo. So dual ESCs, I have to set one up as a primary. Here's the steering on this thing. Grease that a little. I just held up a 5th scale servo up to this because I was in kind of disbelief that a boat this size uses a standard size servo. So I'm gonna have to find something torquey, I guess, because this is a heavy boat, and I don't know, I might have to get one of those perfect pass servos. Those are good. Those are nice and strong, but I might want to stick something good in this. So it's not a cheap boat, and I don't want something that's gonna fail. So I'd rather just spend the money and get a perfect pass servo and stick it in here. I forget how many kgs those things are, but they'll do the trick. All right, so now this has dual ESCs. I'm gonna have to set up a primary and a secondary for the ESCs. We don't need to have 2 power lines going from the ESCs into the receiver. Might cook the receiver. So I'm gonna run a primary and a secondary. All the water lines are ran. It is pretty good. Okay, I went ahead and installed both props and the rudder. There is no servo in the boat yet. That I will do at a later time. It'll probably sit for a while as we get closer to the warmer months. Definitely this is probably a March project when I'll worry about this. Those props feel sharp. I wish they would have put a foam gasket around here. And that is a really tight fit. Keep on forgetting about that blade. Alright, so here's the Miss Budweiser, which the Miss Budweiser is an 8th scale F1 hydroplane. And Genesis, TFL Genesis, the TFL Genesis is a catamaran. So completely different style boats. One's really narrow and one is really wide. That was kind of hard to hold up there. That Miss Budweiser is gas powered, so it's not really heavy. It's awkward to sit there and hold and balance on top of this. And I forgot all about that knife on that one side that comes down. I was hitting the top of my boat. They didn't leave any marks though, which is a good thing. But hate to scratch a brand new boat before I even get in the water. I think I'm gonna make I don't want to drag this video out. I just wanted to show you guys what I got. Really excited with this thing. It's really cool looking. But I will create another video when I'm making the boat bag for this. Because I bought this boat bag and I honestly thought that the bag was gonna come with all the foam padding and everything to support the boat properly, because you don't wanna screw up your rudder, stingers, or anything else, or your props. So I thought this bag was gonna be padded, but it doesn't come padded. So I have to get foam, and which I have a bunch of scrap foam and everything which I can use, but I need to make it to fit this boat. So I have to put the foam in there properly so it's not sliding around. It'll hold it in place nicely and make it easy to transport, because it is kind of awkward to transport. It's long, slippery, and when you have battery packs in, this thing's going to be heavy. So something with handles is going to be great. If you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. I have so much content I'm going to be making. I am going to have a lot of boat videos. I'm going to get the boats in the water. It's actually easier for me to get boats in the water than get cars on the street. I live on a barrier island, so in the summertime it gets really packed around here, and pretty much the only big area of land around me is the beach. So I tend to run a lot of cars on sand. As far as bashers, I have a ton of bashers, but I really don't have anywhere to bash. I just like them, so I buy them. Boats wise, I plan on running a lot of boats this coming summer, and probably even the springtime. As soon as the weather gets decent, I plan on running a lot of boats, because I lost track, but I have a ton of boats. So that's it for this video for now. Like I said, I'm going to make the bag, I'm going to make the boat bag fit the boat, and I will put a link to Fair RC in the description with a link to this boat. So that way, like honestly, if anybody's ever interested in getting one of these, Fair RC is probably the best price right now. Last time I checked on TFL, it was more. And Fair RC is getting it from TFL. But I will put the link in the description for anybody who's interested in picking up one of these things. It's cool. Just make sure you have a nice wide open area to run this thing, because it's a big one. Okay, I will catch you on the next episode. Bye.